Hello everyone. Today we discuss about wage and salary administration in compensation. So wage and salary administration is defined as the process by which wage and salary level and structures are determined in organizational setting. So wages are payments for labor services rendered frequently, expressed in hourly rates, while a salary is a similar payment, so expressed in weekly, monthly, or annually rates. So, thus, the term wage frequently cannot payment in terms of the number of hours worked, and many fluctuate depending upon hours actually worked. So the determination of wage rate and administration of wage policies and satisfying the employees as regards to wages and rates of wages is an important aspect of wage administration in organizations. So, as a matter of fact, wage and salary administration is one of the major responsibilities of modern manpower management. So, now we discuss about in details. So, introduction to wage and salary administration. Now we discuss about this meaning and definition of wages and salaries and concept of uh, uh, salary and wages administration, nature and characteristic of it, purpose and objectives of wage and salary service. So now we discuss the wage and salary administration definitions, concept and characteristic and its factor, structure, problems and other details. So wage and salary administration introduction. Wages constitute the major factor in the economic and social life of any community. In an economic sense, wages represent payment of compensation in return for work done. In a sociological sense, wages characteristic stratifications of occupational categories. In an psychological sense, wages satisfy need directly and indirectly in response to changing employees' aspirations. So it continues one of the several elements of job satisfaction and is instrumental for the satisfaction of some needs more than others. So, in a legal sense, the term wages or salaries has acquired various connotations depending on the context and has become the subject of special law in many countries. So it is most important to an industrial workers because his standard of living and that his family depends upon his earning. So wages have at least two uh, connotations from the standpoints of employee and employers in organizational setting. First, the employer perceive wages as a cost of their business efforts and are keen to reduce labor cost per unit of output. So explicitly, wages form an important cost factor for the enterprise, although the employers are inclined to save this cost. They have also come to realize that it would not possible for them to attract and maintain an effective workforce without compensating it adequately. Second, employees consider wages as a means for satisfying their needs in terms of an expected standards. So they desire to receive at least as much remuneration as other individuals occupied with similar skills for doing similar works. So traditional theories or theorists define wages and salary administration as the process by which wage and salary uh, levels and structures are determined in organizational setting. So wages are payment for labor services rendered frequently expressed in hourly rates, while a salary is a similar payment expressed in weekly, monthly, or annual rates. Thus, the term wage frequently connote payments in terms of number of hours worked and may fluctuate depending upon hours actually worked. So, the determination of wage rates, administration of wage policies, and satisfying the employees as regards to wages and rates of wage is an important aspect of wage administration. As a matter of fact, wage and salary administration is one of the major responsibilities of modern manpower management. So it is of course a line responsibility, but continually increasing complications have demanded the attention of specialized staff members. Hence, the experts in personal area have to take due care of these important functions continuously. So, labor is the most important factors of production. Labor expects fair expansion or compensation for its contribution to the process of production. The term wages is probably the broadest of all designations applied to workers' compensation. So, in popular uses, it refers to payment for services, whether mutual or maintained, whether based on hours of employment, units of output, or some other yardstick. So, in these uses, the term includes salaries, bonus, premium, and commission, etc. In modern times, we word wage. So, the used in some restricted sense. In this sense, it refers to compensation paid for services of hourly rated or ordered to non-supervisory or non-clerical employees. Now, wage and salary administration meaning and definition. In simple words, wages means reward for the laborer for his service rendered to the industry. This can be paid on per unit, per hour, daily, fortnightly, weekly, or monthly basis. Laborers rendered services of both types, that is, mental and physical. Some of the definition of wages are as follows. Now we discuss about this. So wages is the reward of that labor which creates utility. So wages refers to the payment which is made by employer to the laborer for his service hired on the conditions of payment per hour, per day, per week, or per fortnight. So in these words, wages are the income that an employee gets for his services. Wages are a sum of money paid under contract by an employer to a worker for service rendered. Wages are the price paid for the use of labor. So, wages are the compensation for the wage earners, the numerous employee. So, the development of rules of wages administration has to be done after the rate ranges have been determined. Rules have to be developed to determine to what degree advancement will be based on the length of the service rather than merit. So, with that frequently pay increase will be awarded, how control over wage and salary cost can be maintained, what rules will govern promotions from one pay grade to another, etc. So at the next stage, the employee are to be informed of the details of wage and salary program. Although most hourly paid workers are informed through the wage contract about the details of wage per program, a substantially smaller number of salaried employees have such information about their jobs in organizations. So it is considered advisable or advisable in the interest of the concerned and the employees that the information about average salaries and ranges in the salaries of group should be made known to the employees concerned for secrecy in this matter may create dissatisfactions, and it may also vivitate the potential motivation effects of disclosure. Now, wage and salary administration basic concepts. So, compensation may be defined as money received in the performance of work, plus the many kinds of benefits and services that organizations provide to the employees. Money is included under direct compensation, popularly known as wages, that is gross pay. So while benefits come under indirect compensation and may consist of accident or health insurance, the employer's contribution to retirement pay for vacations or illness of employees. So employers require payments for employee welfare as social security. So a wage or pay is the remuneration paid for the service of labor in production periodically to an employee or worker. Wages usually refer to the hourly rate or daily rate paid to such groups as productions and maintenance employees. It's blue collar worker. An Indian labor organization, that is ILO, defined the wage as the remuneration paid by the employer for the service of hourly, daily, weekly, and fortnightly employees, as I mentioned earlier. So, salary normally refers to the weekly or monthly rates paid to clerical, administrative, and professional employees, white collar workers in organizations. So, earning are the total amount of remuneration received by an employee during a given period. So, these include salary, dearness allowances, house rent allowances, city compensation, allowances, other allowances, overtime payments, and etc. So it is the wage paid or received in monetary terms. It is also known as money wages. Now, real wages, it is the amount of wage arrived after discounting nominal wage by the living cost. It represents the purchasing power of money wages. Take home salary, it is the amount of salary left to the employee after making authorized deduction like contribution to the provident fund, life insurance, premium, income tax, and other charges. Cost to the company, CTC. The cost of company includes payment made to the employee, includes pensions, health insurance, death in service, gratuity, company car or own the car scheme, child care provisions, subsidies meal, etc. So the CTC includes all the investment made by the employer to the employee, including the monetary and non-monetary benefits. So the wage labels represents the money an average workers makes in a geographic area or in his organizations. Now, wage rate, it is the amount of the remuneration to a unit of time, excluding incentives, overtime pay, etc. The term wage structure is used to describe wage salary relationship within a particular grouping. The grouping can be according to occupation or organizations, such as wage structure of craftsmen, carpenters, mechanics, bricklayer, etc. Now, the wage structure or grade is comprised of job of approximately equal difficulty or importance as determined by job evaluation. Now, a job is a group of positions that are similar to as the kind of level of work. So, in some instance, only one position may be involved simply because no other position exists. For example, in a small organization, there will be only one person or personal manager, but in large organizations, there may be 10 employees with the same title, yet each may perform slightly different work in organizations, though they are in same designations working in the organizations. So job analysis, the US Department of Labor defined job analysis as the process of determining by observing the study and reporting pertinent informations relating to the nature of a specific job. It is the determinations of the tasks which comprise of the jobs and
of the skills, knowledge, abilities, and responsibilities required of the workers of a successful performance, and which differentiate one job from all others. Job analysis includes job description and job specifications also in organizations. Now, job descriptions. Job description is an organization's factual statements of the duties and responsibilities of a specific job. In brief, it should tell what is to be done and how it is done and why. So it is a standard of functions in that it defines the appropriate and authorized context of a job in organizations. Now, job specifications. A job specifications is a statement of minimum acceptable human qualities necessary to perform a job properly. So it is a standard or personnel and designates the qualities required for acceptable performance in organizations. Job classifications. A job classification is a grouping of jobs in some specific or specified basis, such as the kind of works or pay. For example, a teacher, a doctor, an engineer, etc. So wage and salary structures consist of the various salary grades and their different levels of single jobs or groups of jobs. The term wage structure is used to describe wages and salary relationship within a particular grouping. So the grouping can be according to occupations or organizations, such as wage structure of craftsman, carpenter, mechanist, bricklayers. As I mentioned earlier, the wage structure or grade is comprised of jobs of approximately equal difficulty or importance as determined by job evaluation. So the term wage and salary structure means the pattern or a breakup of the salary paid to the employee in their respective organizations. So actually, wage structure represent wage relationship to all kinds of analysis of wage differentials of any kind of geographic, industry, community, or occupations deals with wage structure issues. But because our primary focus is on pay decisions in organizations, our concern is with pay difference between job. So decisions on wage relationship among jobs with an organizations are largely with the control of the employees decision makers. Wage level decisions are actually influenced more by forces external to the organizations that are wage structure decisions. So that's for the video, my friends. Thanks a lot for watching my videos, and my humble request is, if you like my educational channel, please subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot.